We got slammed because I think selfishness kind of prevailed over the greater good.
I had no faith in a society's collective intelligence knowing to prevent stuff.
You want to protect your friends and protect yourself, so you have to be sometimes have to make hard decisions.
Me being all the way far from home, it was very scary knowing that that's going on back at home, and it could be a loved one at any moment in time, because our president decided to look at the economics instead of the health of the country.
Economically, I think we've been pretty hard hit. The pandemic means that lots of companies are laying off employees. Maybe they're not recruiting to the extent that they usually would have.
A lot of people still need to earn money and like do things with their lives during the pandemic.
Not a lot of people can afford to stay home and work from home.
A group of people in this nation have this idea of, this thing is like the China virus or whatever.
A lot of people in my town did not follow the precautions, like the safety precautions, the new rules, the new mandates. I had to lock myself down more because my community was not necessarily safe to go out in.
The decision felt very abrupt. I had been so confident that it wouldn't happen until it did.
I was like, you could just announce it 2 weeks ago. Like, I knew this was gonna happen,
Honestly, I was shocked. I didn't think it would go to that length.
And I was just in shock, total shock. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where I was going to spend my time. And I think nobody really had any plans, so it was just total disbelief.
I was on board with the closure, but the way they presented how it was working was like incredibly confusing.
Spring semester, the campus went from being lively to being empty overnight.
That was a feeling that I've rarely felt before.
We were really stuck between four walls, like literally your bed is also your desk, it's also your kitchen.
Sometimes dealing with a time difference has been difficult, especially for classes, because some of my classes have been at like 1 a.m. A lot of my events and networking calls have been like 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
So just having the COVID word constantly like around me through different means was an unnecessary pressure.
I think for a lot of students that increases a lot of paranoia.
If there was a way for us to connect more during this pandemic, that would be a great experience for students.
Professors were understanding, but I think no one actually understood the loneliness that a lot of the students that stayed on campus went through.
It's been a little bit isolating.
Honestly, frustrating, I think is a pretty good word for that.
Can I say 2 words? Mentally exhausting.
Boring?
A shit show.
But it was insightful.
Like, I was never a reader, but it's great to see and absorb a lot of knowledge that you're interested in.
I'm the kind of person who gets their energy from social interaction.
You take having friends and seeing them every day and doing things just for granted.
Looking back, I could have spent so much more time with loved ones and with friends and going out and, being social and having dinner with people and grabbing coffee, because we can't do any of that now.
I think a lot of us live in the future and not in the present.
So yeah, you can plan it all out, but then again, anything can happen at any time. So whatever moments of time you have that is free, you better utilize it at the most.
I am the sit at home and be lonely kind of person, but now that I am stuck sitting at home and being lonely, God damn it, all I want to do is go to a beach and go get a drink at a bar.
I think mostly just living through this pandemic has taught me to love what I have and to be thankful for everything I've been given.
One of my relatives passed away.
I actually also lost an uncle to COVID.
A family member in Russia passed away, who I loved very much, and I couldn't go to see.
It was really painful because he stayed at the hospital for many weeks, and no one was really able to go and see him. His children weren't able to come to the hospital.
So I think resilience was one big lesson that not necessarily learned, but definitely has been emphasized for me during the pandemic.
The pandemic has helped me to value relationships more.
One thing I never thought I'll ever see myself do is loving someone, and that actually took place,
We try to spice some things up every day by doing something new as opposed to just sitting at home.
We had family dinners and shit. We had never, in my entire life, we had not had family dinners for like more than like 3 times. And like by the end of the pandemic, we were having family dinners like every night.
Once it's safe to travel again and like go to different parts of the world, that's definitely something I'm planning to do.
Definitely being able to go home and travel, like take the plane and all of that. So that's like number 1 on my list.
Like even the experience of being on a plane and just going through boarding, even though we kind of complain about those experiences when it's normal times, having those things been taken away and realize that we kind of taken it for granted has made me realize how much I love just the process of flying and also visiting new places.
When something bad happens, have this mindset whereby, yes, it has happened, I'm going to move forward. You can't do anything about it right now.
Anything can happen in life, absolutely anything.
I just enjoy it while I can.
Dude, just make yourself do these things when you can, right? Because you never know when the next pandemic is gonna happen. Do it now.